Welcome to OState Daily. Casey Porter here. So glad that you decided to tune in. Hey, it was a good night last night in Cincinnati for the Cowgirls. A good bounce back after the disappointing loss last Saturday at home in Gallagher Arena to the Kansas Lady Jayhawks. Cowgirls last night went on the road to Cincinnati, beat a good Lady Cats team. Not a great team, but Cincinnati's a good team in a tight game for the most part, with a little run there. And towards the end of the game, I believe, at the beginning of the fourth quarter, stretched things out to a 16-point lead. Macy Heward hit a couple of huge threes to kind of make a close game go a little bit sideways to give the Cowgirls some cushion there. And a good thing about last night is Micah Gray, who averages 11 points a game, only had 5 points. So when you can go on the road and get a good win like that, and Micah Gray only has 5 points, and we know that she can score in bunches, that's always a good thing. Of course, Staley Hurd was simply unstoppable she was great the entire game, but really you can kind of see about halfway through the third quarter, she was going to take the game over, and there was absolutely not anything that Cincinnati could do about it. I mean, absolutely incredible. 21 points, 4 assists, 13 boards, another double-double for Staley Hurd, which is pretty amazing because she's a double-double machine, and she's just absolutely a player that can take over games and you need those kind of players and those type of performances when you're on the road. Cowgirls shot 43% from the field. That's despite starting just 27, starting, I believe, 0 for 8 from three-point range. They finished shooting 27% from three. So all in all, considering the start to that, Lady Jays were able to survive that type of start. 27% from the three-point range, from the three-point line, is not where the Cowgirls like to be. It's not where they're going to be, but considering the start, considering they won, all in all, not a bad deal. And we know the Cowgirls, they like to play fast, they like to score, they like to keep shooting until they get hot. And just like last night, as they keep shooting, that when they hit that stretch where they get hot, they can take a 2, 3, 4-point game and turn it into a double-digit lead like that, like we saw them do with a couple of plays from Alexis Smith, a couple of plays from Staley Hurd, and then a couple of big threes from Macy Heward as well. So, and Magassa also had, Nagasa also had some really nice post-up plays, a couple of putbacks. Magassa also had a really nice night last night. So Stacey Hurd, let's get back to her. 21 points, 13 boards, yet another double-double. Again, 4 assists, 5 steals, and what a great game it was for her. So for her, that was her 6th double-double of the season, 3rd time this year she's gone over 20 points in a game. 2nd game in a row she's gone over 20 points in a game, and 4th time in her last 7 games. So Staley Hurd has been absolutely awesome, not just last night, all year long, and specifically as of late, she has been a scoring machine. Matter of fact, overall in the season, she's shooting exactly 500 from the floor, which 50% from the floor is amazing. You can tell my baseball bias here saying 500. 50% from the floor for Staley Hurd. What an amazing percentage that is. And then she is 59 for 147 from three-point range, which is 40%. So she's 50% overall on her field goals, 40% from behind the arc, which is just simply amazing. She also has 313 rebounds on the year. That's 7 rebounds a game. And she also has another 109 assists. So, wow, what a player Stacey Hurd is. No doubt she was the Vipe Oklahoma Player of the Year. Coming out of Sapulpa, this is what everybody thought she would be as a college player. She has definitely turned into that, and last night was a just tremendous game. So a really nice game last night again for Tenant Magassa. We know that the Cowgirls, I mentioned a minute ago, they like to run, they like to play fast, they like to score, they like to shoot, but being able to dump the ball into a 6'6" post player that, if you watch her play, her footwork is fantastic. She has a really soft touch. She can finish with both the left and right hand. So whenever you're a team that likes to run and shoot and that kind of thing, you're going to have nights and stretches where you get hot. You're also going to have nights and stretches where you're cold. So where you can create some consistency is getting higher percentage shots. Well, where do those higher percentage shots come from? Taking the ball to the rack like Alexis Smith is so good at doing. Staley Hurd can do it very well. We know that Micah Gray can do it too. But also another way to do that, just dump it down the post to Tenin Magassa and let her finish with either hand, right? She's really good going back over that right shoulder. So very, very, very impressive game last night for Tenin Magassa. No doubt about that. Matter of fact, last night she went 4 for 9 from the field on her field goal attempts, and she had 2 block shots as well. So, hey, like I said, the Cowgirls, they like to run, they like to shoot. So sometimes the opportunities are somewhat limited for Magassa, but I'll tell you what, whenever the opportunities come for her, she's ready for her number to be dialed. And she absolutely comes through when she's needed. And then again, when that happens, that creates a consistency to this scoring offense and presence as far as being able to score in many different ways that the Cowgirls really need. So Macy Heward, we talked about. How about this? The 2 3-pointers last night. So like it's a 2, 3, 4-point game. She hits 2 3-pointers, and all of a sudden now it's a 10-point game. That's Macy Heward. Macy Heward had 2 gigantic threes last night, right when the Cowgirls were surging and taking control of the game against Cincinnati. So, matter of fact, how good has Macy Heward been on the year? She's shooting 47% from behind the arc this year. 47% from three-point range, and she has made all 17 of her free throws that she shot. So, man, when Macy Heward is able to get her feet set, when she's able to have time to get her shot off, just simply run back to the other end because that ball is going through the hoop. And when you have scorers, like a Micah Gray, when you have scorers like a Staley Hurd, when you can dump the ball in to Tenin Magassa, Alexis Smith is also a very experienced guard that can do a little bit of everything offensively to give you some points. When you have Macy Heward that can kind of cap things off, it's like in baseball, to put up those crooked numbers is what I like to call. Rex says it all the time. Instead, if you go from scoring maybe 1, maybe 2 runs in a game to where then you get that big hit to go from 1 to like 4, right? That's Macy Heward last night. So, yeah, the Cowgirls might have won the game anyways without those 2 threes, but whenever she made those threes and extended the lead, it really made things comfortable down the stretch in what otherwise was a tight game. And again, going to mention it again, Micah Gray she averaged 11 points a year per game. Only 5 points last night. Not a huge factor on the offensive end from a scoring perspective. But just know, it's like when Ollie Gordon in football isn't always gaining a lot of yards. What he's doing is he's drawing attention. And what should happen at that point is it makes it easier for everybody else to have success because they have less attention drawn to them. So even on nights where Micah Gray only scores 5 points, isn't getting her 11 points per game that she averages or above that we've seen so many different times for her, just know she's still having a big impact on the game as far as drawing attention away from other people. So, hey, moving on as far as the next game for Oklahoma State, hey, show up on Saturday. This is a fun brand of basketball. The Cowgirls can shoot, they can dribble, they play 4 guards a lot, which means they play fast. It is a very entertaining brand of basketball. The ball goes in the hole, they can drive it to the bucket, they can post up with Magassa down low. This team can flat score, right? It is an entertaining brand of basketball. If you haven't been to a Cowgirls game yet, show up 2 o'clock on Saturday as the Cowgirls set to take on their next opponent, which would be West Virginia. Another winnable game for the Cowgirls, looking to go 14-2 on the season, which they are 13-2 now with the win last night, and then looking to go 4-1 on conference play. They're 3-1 at the moment. So make sure, if you haven't been there, show up 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Support this Cowgirls team because they are very fun again. Again, another one last time, another big win last night, 64-48 for the Cowgirls to move their record to 13-2 on the season, 3-1 in conference.